So I first didn't want to talk about State of Decay 3, neither make any speculations in preview videos until we didn't get something real and confirmed. But why do I end up doing it anyway? Because I'm a moron. Now a few months passed and there are concepts that need to be in State of Decay 3 to make it a great open world survival game and diverse from its predecessors but also his siblings from another mother. Speaking of games like from other developers like 7 Days to Die, The Forest, Green Hell, DayZ, Scum, Deadside, Rust and so on, you get what I mean. And before it's too late, what is good mates? Tino here, to a State of Decay 3 mechanics and open world wishlist video. So yeah, I'm just focusing on those two things in this video because otherwise I would have a huge ass long ridiculous title on YouTube that wouldn't even fit into my maximum amount of 100 digits, 100 letters, whatever. So I was just talking about SOD3 being less of a regular open world survival crafting game like Rust, The Forest, 7 Days to Die and more, but yet having these elements, but in a gloomier, more threatening world. The best examples I can give you are two series of my favorite games, Stalker and Metro. Metro 2033 and Stalker Call of Pripyat in particular, since both are the peak of the series in my honest opinion. It doesn't make the other ones worse or bad games unless it's Clear Sky, which is a bad game in particular, but hey, that's off topic. Yeah. The reason why I'm naming those games and some others mentioned on a side note like Desolate and Miscreated, the first mentioned is less known, but both of these games are doing one thing great: showcasing an actual terrifying and threatening post-apocalyptic world. I should also never forget to mention the first 3 Silent Hill games, because everything after that was a punch in the stomach while having diarrhea. I have to mention it since they are the atmosphere and immersion kings and the peak of the mountain of horror in my opinion. Of course State of Decay 3 shouldn't and won't be a horror game and neither have all the abominations like in these 3 games or a 5 like in Stalker and Metro, but getting inspirations from the gloom and the climate of those, since that made such games more appealing to its genre and less of a happy stroll in the park. State of Decay 1 and 2 are just too colorful and look too much like a zombie game that could be PEGI 12 or even less. It has some Plants vs Zombie feel. Implementing snow and having to rely on bonfires, thicker clothes like in The Long Dark, or seeking or creating shelter are the first few right steps. The fear of freezing to death and the fear of surviving by own skills in the bare nature, cause that's at least what the teaser of SOD3 showed us about 3 months ago. Furthermore, I would also love to have more RPG elements character-wise, as I said in another State of Decay 3 video before. The first 2 predecessors already had some RPG elements like skills that need to be leveled up and specializations that were even taken further in the second game, plus with random traits and even hero bonuses that gave us thousands of different possibilities and made each survivor unique beyond solely relying on their specializations. Or even implementing 5th skills that were also possible to level up, or quirk skills that were just 1-star specializations or skills, not specializations. But what about if you finally get a full character customization from the beginning? Something that almost every player asks since the release of the first one, and not just customizables via a closet. I don't care if my survivor runs around in his Tims or his KFC shirt or a clucking bell hat and a strap-on. I mean, give us the possibility of beards, different hairstyles, colors, but not the crazy ones like in a Dark Souls game, and maybe more options than the few and remnant from the Ashes, because the character customizable or customization in that game was pretty bland. We just had maybe 5 or 6 options for each gender. Of course I have to draw in more and more examples so you can get a feel, and I think most of you played at least 1 or 2 games I mentioned or has heard something or seen something about them, I guess. Just having 4 skill specializations for each of the 4 core skills isn't that much in my opinion. At least 6 for each, or more core specializations like intelligence, crafting, perception, and overall more mental and survival skills would be perfect for a single survival open world game with RPG elements. One thing that I would also love to see, but it's maybe too far-fetched since that's too much taken off from or ripped off from a pure RPG game like Oblivion, would be some character build or a screen where you can already choose your specializations or skills that you want to play on later on with your character. For example, you choose I can't make the example for a zombie survival game, but for example a magician or a summoner or a war mage, a paladin, ranger, stuff like that. They all worked with different skills, and you had also the possibility to focus on different specializations, so something like that would also be pretty neat in State of Decay 3. Since that would also keep most players engaged for the long run. I saw many putting less than 20 or 30 hours into State of Decay 2, and I can respect why, but there are many who played hundreds and even thousands and more hours of open world crafting games where you could freely create your character and slowly build a base and craft every single thing, from a nail clipper to an automatic ass wiper to a remote control that controls your toaster, or I mean stuff like that, you get the point. So these are just my 2 cents about these 2 topics. So like I said, the atmosphere and climate of State of Decay 3 and also the character skill RPG elements. Definitely leave me your wishlist ideas in the comments below to State of Decay 3, or your opinion in particular about those 2 topics I just talked about right now. Yeah, would mean a lot to me because this video was a little bit more productive and cost me a little bit more time than my regular State of Decay 2 walkthrough or guide parts. So thanks a lot for tuning in. Have your best day that you could ever have. Keep your butt clean and see you next time. Bye.